So you've now hit the no calculator section, which will be on Friday, okay? If you look, there will be 3 questions that will be no calculator. 1, 2, 3. And they're random, so you can't predict. You might be able to factor them, you might not. That's on you. What I do notice is that all of them have an X. So I have different paths I can go. If you're feeling strictly PQ, and I know I can take out an X, but I'm just not sure what to do with it, I know I can start with a 0. Okay? Because that means if I take out an X, X equals 0. So let me show that path. So 2, negative 12, 6, 20, but notice how I'm messing with you, because it's got to go 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing. So the 0 has to be acknowledged. Okay? So I'm going to show you both paths. So I take out a 0, bring down the 2, negative 12, 6, 20, and boom. So I know that's one of them. Okay? I could have also just taken out what I see, and this is what I would have done if I was factoring. I would have taken out, noticing that they're all even, taken out a 2x. And then I'm left with x cubed minus 6x squared plus 3x plus 10. So I know one of my zeros, if I set 2x equal to 0, x equals 0. If you look, it doesn't matter. I got the answer both ways. But the problem is there's 4 of them and I still have 3 left. When I look here, I can't do factor by grouping. So since I can't do factor by grouping, I have to do the PQ if I was to go that way. Now I want you to look here that this is a 1, this is a negative 6, this is a 3, and this is a 10. It's half of those. It's literally the same thing. So I could have at this point then done my PQ, oops, and done 1, negative 6, 3, 10. It's going to work out the same, okay? So I need to look. My options of 10, just like my options of 20, but that's doubled. Plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 10. Okay. Honestly, I'm just going to try numbers now. I have no idea what it is. I haven't done it yet. I might have tried 3, so let me try 3. Let's see. 3, 1, negative 3, negative 9, negative 6. Nope. So now let's try negative 3, 1, negative 9, 27, 30. It's not going to work. So now I try 2. Bring down the 1, negative 4, negative 8, 5. Ooh, I'm close. So let me make sure I did that one right. Bring down the 1, 2 times 1, negative 4, negative 8, plus 3 is negative 5, negative 5. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, plus 10 is 0, so I found the other one. I'm going to show you over here, same thing. Bring down the 2. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 12, negative 8. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16, plus 6 is negative 10. 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. Boom. So both ways I got the 2. Okay? Now, at this case, if I'm over here, I'm actually pretty good at factoring. So I could rewrite that as x squared minus 4x plus 5. Then I would go x minus 5, x plus 1. So I get x equals 5, and x equals negative 1. And let me rewrite that as x equals 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go this pathway, and I'm not sure, I'm now looking at these as my options. And then I can try another number, which I know is negative 1. Bring down the 2. Remember, I'm just looking there. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 2, minus 8 is negative 10. Negative 1 times negative 10 is 10, minus 10 is 0. Okay? So there's another root. If I have 3 of them, and I started with 4, I have 1 left, which means I could have done 2x minus 10 equals 0, solved, gotten 5. If I didn't see that, I could try 5, bring down the 2, boom, it works, and I have all the answers. X equals 0, x equals 2, x equals negative 1, x equals 5. Whatever path you take is fine. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one I can see as factor by grouping. You could still do the PQ, but I think you get the game of the PQ, so I don't think I need to do that one again. So x squared I can take out, and then I'm left with x minus 2. Take out a 4. Sorry, let me make that a little bit bigger. So let me recap in case you didn't get it. They've had an x squared, and then I'm left with x minus 2. I took out a 4, and now I'm left with x minus 2. I see a match. I write what's left. Whenever I have an x, I can set it equal to 0. I've got my first one. I can't square root this because it has a plus. So I need to set it equal to 0 minus 4. Square root, x equals 2i, x equals negative 2i. I have 3 answers, something I could have attained from the PQ. Okay, let me pause it and I'll show you the PQ. Since you didn't see factor by grouping, let's say you didn't see it, I did this, I tried 2, yay, it worked. But then I'm going to try all the other numbers and they're not going to work. And I'm left with, well, if I had 3 and I found one of them, I have 2 left. X squared plus 0x plus 4 lends itself to x squared plus 4, and then that's how you got plus or minus 2i. Okay, last problem you'll see. You know you're going to have at least one where you can't factor. So I do my PQ. 2, negative 9, 7, 2, negative 2. My P and my Q. So my P is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. My Q is plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. But remember, I can go P over Q, which means I can go 1. Well, 1 over 1 is 1, but 1 over 2 is an option. Okay? I'm just going to try some numbers because that's how I've got to do it. I'll probably try the 2 first. Bring down the 2, 4, negative 5, negative 10, 2 times 6, 8. That doesn't work. Negative 2. 2, negative 4, negative 13, 26, 33. This is getting huge. That doesn't look good. 1. Bring down the 2. 1 times 2, negative 7. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0. 2. 1 times 2. Yay, I found one of them. I found one of them, and I have 3 left. The problem is I can see with a 2, 7 and a 0, 2, I can't do factor by grouping. So I'm going to keep trying. Negative 1. Now I'm focused here. Bring down the 2, negative 9, 9. It doesn't work. Okay. That means I'm going to have to try the fractions. 1/2. Bring down the 2. Half of 2 is 1. Minus 7 is negative 6. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. Plus 0 is negative 3. Half of negative 3 won't work out. So let's try negative 1/2. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. Negative 1/2, half a negative, or half of 2 is 1, negative 8. Negative 8, or half a negative 8 is 4, plus 0 is 4. Half of 4 is 2, but it's negative, minus 2 is 0, so I found another one. I have 2 of them, now I need 2 left, okay? So I'm left with 2x squared minus 8x plus 4. I've tried all of my options and nothing works, which means guess who we're saying hello to? The quadratic formula. But what I want to tell you is, I don't like that these numbers are so big. I could actually divide all of that by 2, and it's x squared minus 4x plus 2. I would much rather do that if I'm doing the quadratic formula. So let me hammer that out. 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2, all over 2 times 1. If I rewrite that, that's the square root of 16 minus 8, which is the square root of 8, which is 2 rad 2. So now I have 4 plus or minus 2 rad 2 over 2, divide by 2, and I'm left with, let me kind of mess up that thing, 2 plus or minus, I don't need the 1, rad 2 over 2. This is the no calculator section, which means I have now found all of my x's. See if I can find a spot to put the answer. You'll have more space on the test. So I'll do it in pink because it's kind of out of control. X equals 1. X equals negative 1/2. X equals 2 plus rad 2 over 2. And x equals 2 minus rad 2 over 2. I can't check this. I'm not allowed to use a calculator, so I'm hoping for the best. Okay? So there's 3 questions on the no calculator section that you'll take on Friday.